What happened in Bondi last weekend, and there's been a candlelight vigil held in Sydney tonight to remember the victims of that horrific attack at Bondi Junction. Amy Scott, the heroic cop who of course responded to the stabbing and shot Joel Hildebrand dead, she reportedly feels a sense of relief after giving investigators her official version of how the tragic events unfolded during the week. And she'll be taking some time off, but is apparently keen to return to work, and we very much look forward to being able to get back to work. She should be Australian of the Year as far as I'm concerned. But I wrote a column for The Advertiser last week on Friday, suggesting that we should consider better protection for security guards, including pepper spray and tasers, because, as I wrote, the defence of shoppers in Bondi was left to a brave Frenchman brandishing a bollard on an escalator and a father who stood in front of his family as Kauchi approached. Now, of course, one security guard was killed, Faraz Tahir, and his colleague Mohammed Tahar was injured and has been in hospital this week. A lot of people online just read the headline, Freya, and thought I meant that we should give a gun to every person, which is absolutely not what I am suggesting. Greg Jericho, if you're watching, you were one of the idiots who whipped that up. But if you give proper training to security guards, and we expect them to protect us, etc., why should they not be able to carry a taser that they can deploy in the most extreme of circumstances? It comes with all the same rules as coppers with guns. If it is deployed, there needs to be a full investigation. If you're misused, you should never be able to work as a security guard again. But I cannot help thinking that in that situation at Bondi last weekend, something like a taser would have been able to neutralise and disarm a knife-wielding assailant. Because by the time you've called the cops and the cops arrive, the damage has been done.
Exactly right. I think we definitely need to look at that. And I mean, if you're a security guard, if you were a security guard at Bondi Junction in Westfield last week, I mean, what was your line of defence?
Well, you were helpless.
That's exactly right. Literally nothing. And then you ask, well, why do we even have security guards if they aren't authorised to actually secure us against threats? So that's exactly the right question to be asking. I think the only positive thing that has come out of this horrific tragedy is that we've now, as a country, all recognise the amazing work that our police do. And it's actually so encouraging to see people from across the political divide praising our policemen for doing their job and actually policing and defending us.
Yeah, well, it's the defund the police people have gone a bit quiet.
Rethinking that one.
But what do you think, Joe? Is it fair to say that security guards could carry tasers? Because, you know, like, at the moment, all they can do really is have a stern word with a teenager who's trying to steal a chocolate bar, and they've tried their best last Saturday, but there was nothing they could do.
I certainly think it is a prize idiot who questions any need to arm security guards, because otherwise, why have them?
What's the point?
Exactly right. Like, if you're going to say, oh, well, no, they cannot have any sort of lethal force. All right, well, what's that? You can, as Amanda Vanstone once famously said, you can kill someone with a pencil if you really want to.
Exactly, yeah.
So clearly, you want to give them enough resources and training to be able to protect you. Otherwise, what's the point of them? Why are they even there? Is it just sort of a psycho-sematic thing? So, oh, there's, you know, an 80-year-old guy sitting on a stool. I feel much safer now. And I think all of us, and I'm no disrespect to any security guards, I'm sure they're fantastic people doing everything they can. But when you look at some of the training and you look at some of the things, you kind of think, well, hang on a minute, like, I could probably outrun that bloke.
It's pretty lacklustre.
And the training is really, is really short. It's just a matter of weeks, I think, in some cases.
Yeah.
So, or even less. So
online course.
Yeah, then there's an online, exactly. So, again, I don't know if you obviously that has to be commensurate with the training.
Correct.
If you're going to give someone a gun, you have to give them huge amounts of training. But having said that, again, what is the point of them if you're not going to equip them? Otherwise, you just say, no, it's all just a ruse. We're just going to, we'll say that there are cameras there watching.
I mean, I think it's